Random Order Show, episode 210.
What you gonna do about it?
You know what it is, man. It's your boy Jermaine, man. What? Big Baby Trey in the building.
Yeah.
Shout out Sebastian in the building.
In the Benny.
And you know we had to bring him back, man. You saw the title, Mr. Jasmeet Raina.
Yeah.
Listen, man, what a wholesome episode we had. We covered all the important topics. Late Bloomer Season 2. Jasmeet's first time directing. Jasmeet's first time directing children. Jasmeet's first time showing his cheeks on TV in front of his mom. How it feels to make a TV show twice. Why by Jadakiss. And of course, man, learning TV production on YouTube. You know what we need from you, man. Good, wholesome comments. You know we love that shit, man. Good thumbs up. I love that type of shit, man.
I love that shit, dog.
I love that shit, dog.
You also directed for the first time, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
2 episodes.
Yeah.
Season 2, Late Bloomer. Tell me about it.
Damn. Late Bloomer Season 2.
Shit, dog.
Out April
Something.
11th.
11th, yeah.
It's out. It's out right now. When they see this,
It's out right now. Oh, yeah. It's
Oh, no,
going to be
maybe
out.
not, maybe not unless we drop
Maybe
it
not.
out.
Maybe reverse that back.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what?
If it's April 11th.
Out in a couple days.
Yeah.
Just go check.
Out tomorrow. Out 3 days. Out in 4 days.
Yeah, just every possibility.
Out 5 days. Out in 6 days. Out in 7 days.
Sound now.
We get it out by tomorrow.
By the AI,
It's out now. Came out last week.
Yeah.
Say it's out today, right now.
It's out today. It's out today.
The first episode of this, we shot it up. We're like, all right, it's out. It's killing. Everyone's crushing. Everyone's so excited.
My boy hit the button on
I get the
this.
phone call. Yo. Is the episode up? Yo, you can take that down right now? Oh, no, really? He's like, yeah, you can take it down? Yo. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, there's no way. Like, there's no, like, what can I... Yeah, no, I just need that down.
Honestly, in hindsight, shouldn't have cared. Didn't matter. But I think we got too spooked. Right.
I mean,
No, we got lawyers on you.
We got lawyers and we got spooked. We're like, yo,
the
they were
lawyers.
watching everything. We're like, we need to make sure you don't.
It makes
Now-
it feel good, like okay, you're checking like that, but it was funny.
Yeah, it broke my
That
heart
third
to
check
hit.
like that.
I remember that.
Should have kept it up.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I apologize to everybody that saw it. Actually, no, everybody that saw it earlier. That's cool.
Respect.
That's cool.
Yeah. Nah, they were gloating about that. They were
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
that was a good.
That's
pod.
just how we
That
do
was a good
things
pod.
around here, man. It's here. That's why you should appreciate things while you have it,
Yeah,
because you don't know when it's gonna be
for
gone.
sure.
That's
Real
all
talk,
we was
man.
trying to do that day.
Real talk.
That's it.
he ain't even call us.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was coming back to the internet. I don't know how anything worked anymore. It's like we got to get everything approved.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the show, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't want to.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's
Nah, I
fair.
don't care. You're like, you want to drop mine? I don't give a shit. Drop whenever you want.
Tight shit.
Ooh, that's Mr. Director. Speaking.
Back.
Yes, sir.
Walk us through that, Mr. Director, man. I was. Any new challenges? I know you've been directing since YouTube, and you've kind of already done that for yourself. But now, like, you have a whole team and a lot of people that's saying, yo, you gotta meet that time, and you know what I mean, be done by a certain time, and we have to grab our day. So any new challenges?
Honestly, it wasn't as big of a challenge that like everybody made it seem to be, you know. And it's not to like knock any directors, but I think because we were on YouTube and like directed so much of our own stuff, I directed everything I did on YouTube.
All your friends and shit.
Every friends, and even the way I write, I'm like I'm literally drawing sketches of like I'm storyboarding as I'm writing. Like I'll write a scene, I'll storyboard like this is what I want to look like. This is what I want to look. So it's like so much of the work is already being done preemptively, and then even when I write, like I'm like so descriptive. Everybody gets mad at me. They're like, yo, why is this script 41 pages?
Same thing.
Get this down to 23, and I'm like,
like,
yeah,
yo,
but the dialogue is still.
Yeah, the dialogue is
But you need the details.
Yeah.
This is one thing I struggle because now what we did was we made a separate document to put all like the action line, the description lines for like
Very
costumes,
smart.
Yeah.
set, and all these people. So I'm like, because you can't cut that information if it'll get lost in transition, and then it won't.
Right.
When you show up to set,
Right.
it won't be there.
Right. Well, that's why sometimes you have these meetings. They're like, what are they wearing here? What are they wearing here? Like, what does it look like? But it's like if you had all the details there, it's like
If you let me write the script I
Yeah.
wanted to,
It's there, like-
and you read this 68-page script for the 20-minute episode I'm trying to write, but it wasn't that big of a challenge.
Someone was like growling or something.
Yeah, did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard something.
No.
That's different.
Y'all might re-up.
Yeah, real talk. Hold that thought. Damn, I sat on my protein bar. I want to ask, while he's getting this Glenny, you ever making music again, dog?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
You're
I'd love
really good at making music. Like,
we're really good at making music, actually.
yo,
You remember that?
honestly, yeah. We should have made that at that time.
I know, bro.
Because it would have been so good right now.
We fucked up.
And,
That's a huge regret I have.
yeah.
What is the regret?
Bro, we're about to make a
We were about to
phony
drop a
G.
mixtape.
Oh, my
so
God.
Oh, wow.
Bro, but it was like legit. Like, we were.
So why
Remember
did
that
it
night
happen?
at my condo when
I was
we
just about to tell him that story on the couch, bro.
We were just playing beats and just riffing back and forth.
Oh,
I would
for
drop
real?
like the melody,
Yeah.
the hook. This guy would start rapping.
I have a video of that.
Really?
Do you?
Yeah, literally.
Oh.
I gotta vet it. I gotta vet
Yeah.
it.
We're going in.
If it's vetted, are we throwing that up a little bit?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
bro,
cool.
freestyle
Nice,
all the
nice.
time, man.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
going to be a crazy album.
That was the time. That was like
That was the
2015, 16.
time.
That would have been the time to drop it. I don't know why we didn't, man.
Especially when that guy dropped it was an R. Kelly remix on Vine. Let me suck it, hit it, baby. Yeah, so
Danny
Melodies-
Lepore, yeah.
Let me suck them titties, baby, yeah.
Was that him?
Danny Lepore, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Damn,
Yeah,
And his
but
brother, Michael
Right?
and Danny, yeah.
yeah, I felt like that guy. Yeah. But anyways, the Glenny on us, man.
Yeah.
You was saying.
Yes, you were saying directing.
Oh, directing. All right. So I think especially I learned a lot from my current director, Peter, like just watching him on the first season, because it's just whatever you're doing on YouTube, it's just elevated like to another degree.
Yeah.
There's more layers, there's more people, there's more machinery involved, and so it's like if you understand the core concept of like what you're doing, you can apply that on a bigger level. Like I maybe is there music playing? Oh, word.
A little classical music
Oh
in
shit!
the back.
Okay.
Just so the
when you
guests
hear-
ain't,
when
just so the
Yeah,
guests
I was
ain't bored, man. They get a little,
Yeah. But yeah, so it's just like just doing it on another level, and I think the biggest thing it's time. Time is the biggest thing that's kind of against you in these settings, because it's like you can do it, you can pull it off, but like you have to write, you gotta like produce, you have to like approve all these things, you have to make sure the budget's good, you have to make this should go as chaps. Pause. Let me.
This guy shaking his head, smiling, bro.
Bro, if you knew Chaps 5 years ago, you don't know Chaps. If you knew Chaps 2 years ago, you don't know Chaps now.
Wow.
This guy's a completely different person.
Yeah,
man.
EP of the year, bro.
Chap claps, man.
EP of the
That's
year.
nice,
There's no way I would
nice.
be able to make the show without
Yeah.
Chaps. Everybody needs a Chaps.
Yeah.
Everything you're seeing in Late Bloomer, like, there's no way I'd be able to pull it off if it wasn't for Chaps behind the scenes,
Yeah.
like making the shit happen. Like, if I need something,
Yeah.
all right, make a call, do this. So shout out to Chaps. Only reason I'm able to do any of this
Yes,
on this
sir.
level is because of
Chaps.
Chaps. Chaps is
Amen.
there in my corner.
Yes,
making
sir.
it happen.
Big up.
You need
Yeah.
that.
Big up, Chaps.
Never. If I'm like, yo, outlandish idea, he's like, all right. Never really. Do we need to do it? He's like, cool. If that's what we need, that's what we
All
need.
right.
Done.
More.
That's what it is.
That's you need people like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sir.
it's like, yo, you
No
trust in the vision,
question,
believe in the
yeah.
vision, you make it happen. So shout out to Chaps.
Yeah.
I just had to
That's
give that Chaps
beautiful.
shout out real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
But yeah, man, directing is like everything is on an elevated level. So I think the biggest thing is like you have to translate to people. I had to make diagrams, which I've never done in my life. Directors make diagrams of like, okay, camera A, camera B goes here. No idea, never done in my life. I'm storyboarding like.
This is before you got to do that.
So you have to do that like. My DOP's like, hey, I need the diagrams like tonight, and I'm like, what diagrams? I'm like, I have no idea how to. So I had to sit down with my director, like, yo, teach me how to do this. Download an app and like learn how to do. I have no idea how to do any of this.
Is
So
that a free app? That's pretty cool.
I don't. Yeah, it was a free app.
Okay,
I'm not
cool.
sure. I don't. I don't know. I
I'll
don't know.
figure it
But
out
it's like
later.
it's just literally diagrams to show like how this is gonna be.
What
I thought I
yeah.
could just draw stuff. I would make documents where I would draw. This is how the
Like
story
the shot.
That wasn't enough. Like for the technical people, for the lighting, for the crew, those people they need something different.
Diagrams?
Because it's room limitations.
Yes, you need the floor plan. You need to show where the camera's going, where it's ending up, where the actors are, how they're moving, all of that.
Yeah.
So I was just drawing what it's gonna look like when you watch it on screen. That's not what the technical people need.
Where
so
is the camera?
Wow.
whole new skill set you have to learn within like a week, 48 hours.
Did you? What'd you?
Yeah, I had
where'd you,
to. I just had
where'd
to
you
do it.
learn? Where'd you just got thrown into the deep end?
I just got thrown in. Yeah, you literally get thrown in.
No life jacket.
No, I studied.
Yeah.
I studied
Yeah.
Peter's diagram. I studied other people's diagrams, and I just like started making.
Oh,
my own. Like, okay, cool.
nice.
I just had to learn. I just had to learn how to do it. So that's the stuff that you have to learn. Is like the technical. We've never went to school for any of this.
No.
So you're just like thrown in, and then people are like, "Hey, can I get this? Can I get this by like tonight?" And I'm like, "Get what? I literally don't know what this is." So you're learning, actively learning. While you're like, punch this pass up, do this, approve this, go down to wardrobe, finish writing the script, and you're like doing 100 things at once. So you're just like, and somehow you just make it work. So I just pushed through it, made it work, made the diagrams. And sometimes I would even take my DOP. I'm like, yo, let's go to set, and I'm gonna walk you through it right now, tell you exactly what I need, and then she would sometimes help me make the diagram. Shout out to Gail,
Shout out Gail, man. Sat down my day one, and I was saying, no new friend. She was on
very
season
patient
1, right?
with me.
Yeah.
A completely inexperienced director in the technical sense. Very patient and kind of like let me do my thing. But like I think we pulled off some really great shots, some really cool shots. So
Nice, man.
I'm very proud. Also, the things about the episodes that I directed was I also wrote. I had a big hand and I wrote the episodes as well. So and there are 2 episodes that I myself wasn't acting in primarily. One episode I'm not in at all, and the other episode I'm in the cold open.
Okay.
And
I love when shows do that, man. Like
Yeah.
they take away the main guy or the main girl, and then I'm just feeling like, damn, bring that back, because like you know you kind of get used to that person or whatever, and then you get that detachment or whatever. So that's I like when shows do
how
that.
they come back in is always like yes.
One was a childhood episode. One was me as a kid.
Important information.
And then
Yeah, I
Neil
can't
as a
wait for
kid.
that one.
Yeah, and the kids, man, they're so good. Like and it was not like the first episode I directed was working with kids. And when you work with kids, you have like a certain limitation, like because like they're like 45 minutes. Then they got to go to school for 15 minutes, and you just have to wait around and wait for them to finish tutoring. Then they got to take mandatory breaks, so you can't just keep shooting.
We were shooting with a kid too.
Yeah,
and, like,
man, you got to work. It's hard.
Bro.
If you watch that Nathan For You show,
Yeah.
And what was it?
What was it? With the house and the fake
possum,
family.
was it?
the fake family and all that. Yeah.
But when I watched that, I was like, "Oh, this is real. Like you got to do that."
Reversal.
Yeah, rehearsal.
Rehearsal.
Mad rehearsal
That's a
vibes.
reversal.
Yeah.
And so the first episode was like primarily with kids. So you have to like, it's like you're just going on hard mode up the gate because people are like, "Whoa, the first episode you're directing those kids."
Yeah.
Good luck, buddy. And I'm like, "Oh man,
Yeah.
I thought kids are fun." But the kids were great. They
That's
did a great job. And then working with the parents, I've already worked with the parents. Like, because the thing is, like, even in first season, even though I wasn't directing, I would help direct a lot of people's performance.
Yeah.
Like, yo, do this line again, deliver it like this, deliver it like that. And my director Peter would be like very collaborative in that sense. Be like, yeah, you do your thing. Like, if you need to, let them know. And so I had the authority to be like, yo, stop, pause, cut, do this again like this way. And they'd be totally chill about it. So, and I learned a lot from him that way just by watching him. And so it's honestly the biggest challenge was just learning the lingo, the technical terms. Check the gate. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, all right, cut, check the gate. I'm like, I don't know what this means, but I'm saying it, right? And so that, and then the making the diagrams and all this stuff. And then it's just like when you're a director and you show up to set, and when you're a director, why did I say director?
I'm about to ask you if that's how you say it in Costa Rica.
No.
When you direct,
when you're a director, you show up to set, you have to come up early, and like there's literally 50 people just waiting,
looking at you. Yeah.
All right, what are we doing? And I'm like, oh man, I gotta like.
Okay,
so
so
what do you basically? That guy goes.
You want to check the gate?
This guy goes over there, and then she goes here. And, that's how I felt. Like literally on the inside, I was like, oh man, imposter syndrome. But then you just gotta remember, like, yo, this is the show that I made.
Yeah.
I know the vision. Nobody knows the vision better than the brain that it came out of. It's like, yo, I can do this. So. It's that. It's just like you're learning all these skills and you're doing it on a higher level with way more people. You have way more responsibility. There's time. There's budget. There's this and that. So it's just like I was talking shit. It's definitely a challenge. It's definitely a challenge. Yeah.
But it's like that's going to be the greatest challenge is just proving that you can do it. You know what I mean? And like
for sure
finishing the job. But
I'm so proud of these 2 episodes. I think they're so, in essence, they are the core of like what I wanted the show to be, like what I really strive for the show to be. There's like these 2 episodes that have been like, that I directed and I also got to write. That's like it's back to your YouTube days. It's like, yo, this is what
and then you get
I'm
to
trying
edit.
to make, and then you get to edit as much as you can, you know. So it's like as much control as you can get about that product. It's like the whole show is great. Don't get it twisted. Like Peter, Gail, everybody did a great job. But it's like those 2 episodes are like the closest to what is in my vision of what I want Late Bloomer to be.
Late Bloomer's your baby.
Yes.
That's baby number 2 and 3 now, because that's even like I've made the baby, and now it's like, okay, that's my first baby, and now I had
that's their brother.
I had twins.
Totally.
I went and had twins.
Triplets.
So triplets.
Well, they ain't at the same time.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You know, but
small family.
nah, it's beautiful, man. It's nice to have that space to, you know, challenge yourself and because you're doing it, and like that was one thing we noticed in season 1, like how much we were able to say and how like loud our voice was, but then just how accepting the other departments were to like, okay guys, what are we really doing here? And then we'll be able to say, all right, well, this is what we're doing. Then they'll say, okay, but this makes sense if we do it like this. And then you learn how to do it. So I'm seeing certain things where I'm like, okay, like this could be a task if we ever wanted to like challenge ourselves and say, okay, go and do that, you know. But it's beautiful because that's what your work should be about. You know, just always challenging yourself, always finding like different. Because even writing was a challenge for me at first, where I was like, he was writing everything like early YouTube days, like all the way down to fucking late YouTube days. And I was like, okay, fuck, if we're doing this show, because that's when he first got the offer, 2019, and then COVID and all that happened. So I just had a lot of time to think of like, I feel like COVID came at a perfect time for everyone, whether they, you know, whether it was bad, like to start bad or not. But I feel like it was just a perfect moment. Things were moving too fast. Everyone just needed to pause. And, you know, I felt like that came at a perfect time for us. And I wasn't even mad because in hindsight, like, we had so much motion about to continue rolling and everything stopped. And I found so much peace in that, saying like, okay, I'm kind of good with that. And then found out so much about myself and learned things. And then we came back and did it. I'm like, okay, cool. So I can do that. Round 2 feels like, okay, let me see. Come back for a fucking second fight, you know, from boxing type of shit. So
you're more confident, you know. When you pull it off, even the people that are like, the first time you make a show, nobody really knows what it's going to be until they see it.
I feel like everyone has like a slightly different idea of what it is.
So everyone's still kind of like, and it's not to their fault. Everyone's still, some people are still kind of wary about like, all right, what is this show? Like, it might just be another job to them. But then when the show comes out and they see it, they're like, oh, that's what we worked on? Damn, that's crazy. So I remember when we started second season, you guys are probably going through the same thing. Like, everybody was so excited to come back. They're like, yo, we'll get to do this again. Everyone's like, yo, we know exactly what it is we're trying to do.
Possibilities.
There's more challenges. And so it was definitely challenging. It was a complete different set of challenges for me this season. I think I stepped into a leadership role way more than I did in the first season, which I was pretty already like in a leadership role in the first season. But this season, it was like way more. I think I had to like manage a lot more. We were more ambitious in the season. The things we wanted to do were more ambitious. The stories, directing, you know, like all these things that are still kind of new, like and rightfully so. Some people were nervous that I was directing. They were like, yo, you're already writing, you're already producing, you're already acting, you're already doing everything. Like, do you even have the time to direct? Like, there's no way you have time. And I was like, I think I can. Like, I think I can pull it off. So it's like, you know, some people just their natural like things like, I don't know, man, I don't know how this is gonna end out. But because we've done it on YouTube, done all this stuff, it's like, to us, it's just normal. It's just like
you know what you're looking for, so it's just about
you know what you want,
how to communicate that.
If you didn't have a vision, if you didn't know exactly what you wanted to do, like, then there's like this gap of time where you have to figure out like, oh, I'm unsure, but like I can make 90% of my decisions. I can make right there, just A, not B, B, not C. Like, I know right away. 10% of the time I had to be like, okay, I need like a night to sleep on this.
For sure, man.
Think about it, or ask people, ask chaps, ask Harmon, ask people that I trust, you know, the tastemakers that I also believe in, or the writers or whoever, you know. I'm like, yo, what do you guys think? So.
I was going to say 2 things, man. The first reason why that works, when everyone's saying, like, you're already doing too much, you're already whatever, can you do it?
Yeah.
It's possible because you believe in it. So if you believe in it from the start and then you do it, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
The second thing is What did you just say? What did you say? It was good
decision making.
Tastemakers. Showing
decision making, taste
to have the vision, you gotta have the vision.
Yeah.
90% of the time, you need to know like this is it. This is wrong. You need to know this is a right move. This is not a right move.
And the people around you just mentioned, like you had your guys in your corner, you had your writers in your corner, where it's just like people questioning, is this possible? Can you do it? It's like, you guys aren't gonna let me fail though. Yeah. And if you are, this is the wrong team. All you guys can go. Totally. So it's like to even step in that position where it's like our director, shout out to Seb, but this was his first like sketch comedy type of like, you know what I mean, outside of his world. This was a new world for him that he was joining into, not sketch comedy, but. And it was just like, we were by his side to say, yeah, we'll help you direct with what we know how. Like, I'm not drawing no storyboards, but I'll tell you, no, over here, this guy, this has to make sense over here. And culturally, especially all the culture jokes that we're putting in here, and I'm sure it's the same for you and Late Bloomer, where it's like, trust me, it don't make no sense to open that door that way. You gotta come through this way. It'd be the smallest things, but your team is super important, man, and it's nice to see everyone kind of just like be comfortable to say everyone can kind of do the same job while still having like their jobs. For sure. And the job is just getting it done.
Totally. And I think you learn a lot. My thing was like, I was saying this to you guys before, is like, I have to, in order for me to like really know what works for me and what doesn't, I have to try all the things. I can't just be like, oh no, this works. So I think the more like what we did on YouTube, we learned what works for us. Like, this is the process. This is what worked for us. I feel like even in Late Bloomer, the more I apply what process worked for us on YouTube, the better the show is going to be. First season, I applied as much as I could, but I was still open to being like, okay, this is how the industry works. Let me try this way. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me do this way.
Meet them halfway.
Meet them halfway. You know, you got to compromise. You got to do all that stuff. So we did that. We did a lot of that in the first season. I'm proud of the first season, especially after the second season. I'm like, damn. Now, if I go back and watch the first season, it's like going back and watching older YouTube videos. I'm like, I would have shot that differently. I would have done that. This didn't come across. This didn't get translated properly because I didn't be a little.
You gotta be a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a little crazy because a lot of people are gonna watch it. Even our favorite shows like Sopranos, I know I'd watch, and if I talk to that guy, if I talk to the cast, it'd be like, "Oh, I would have changed this. I would change that." I'm like, gang, like you wouldn't change nothing. Don't change anything. Even our old YouTube videos where it's like. You gotta be a little crazy just because you're living in that, and it's like,
and that's how you find what works, man. We find stuff that still hits today. Like, yo, that's good. I go back to old videos, and like, well, a lot of cringe stuff. I'm like, yo, that's funny.
Some videos I go back, I'm like, good job, nailed it. That was a nailed it. That was a nailed it moment. So I think that's what I'm learning now more so is like just trying to like bring it back. Even the show, I'm like, this season feels more like I very much vocalize. I'm like, yo, we need room to improv. When me and Bubba were on set together, we got to improv. When this person's on together, we got to improv.
Huge.
We're going off script. I'm sorry. Because the first season was like the sound. People were like, well, this wasn't in the script. I don't know where to put the boom. I'm like, yo, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to figure it out. God. Literally. So we didn't have much room to improv in the first season. This season we did because I actually pushed her. I told Peter. Even when I was directing, I was like, yo, this is a time to improv. Let's improv. Let's do a script pass. Let's do an improv pass. Next season, I'm going to do it even more. You know what I mean? So it's like you're just learning as you go. And so I stuck more to structure and more to the industry. Not fully, but like I met people halfway, and I did that a lot in the first season because I was like, I'm still new at this. I still have to prove myself. I still have to be open. You kind of have to be open to the way people do it because like let's try that. You're still new. You can't be like, I know everything when you go into it. You have to try other people's ways. Some stuff works, and you take that and you keep it moving. Stuff doesn't, and you're like, yo, this actually doesn't work for me.
And some stuff you remember, hey, I didn't like that idea when they said it, and then it didn't work. So all right. Next time I'm listening to myself.
Exactly. Another thing is like, oh, okay. That takes like sometimes 2 seasons.
You're holding up 3.
By the 3rd, you got to be like, okay.
2 is the Glenn.
Oh, it's about
1's for Glenn.
One's for Glenn. One's for Glenn.
2 seasons.
No, that's super factual, man. And the improv is just like, you got to remember, you're setting a situation up for someone that's already funny or already creative or already blank of the reason you called them.
Totally.
So it's like, even when we did Sunny Linked It and you were gone from YouTube and you're coming there, it's like you're not funny anymore. It's like you're still the same person. So even when it's like, yo, certain Jermaine told you the line, it's like, yeah, okay, this is what it is, and then you kept going on cougar links, fucking links on the just go away, like
you gotta go, you gotta get lost. I
remember like that was like huge for us because I'm like, I can't write what someone's gonna say in the moment. Like Tygo's biggest shit, fucking goon scrap. Even how the name T-Dot Goon Scrap came up was technically improv of us just talking. The cameras just weren't rolling.
Improv is when most of the beautiful stuff comes out. And I think I actively wasn't trying to make a comedy for Late Bloomer because I really wanted to explore like dramatic elements of a show, you know? And I was like, okay, I want to make, if I was going to do comedy, I would have fully just been on YouTube, but I actively was like, keep calling the show a dramedy, don't call it a comedy. But there's no like, you can't call it, it's either a comedy or a drama. Dramedy is like still a rare word, but I was like, it's a dramedy. And so I wanted dramatic elements, I wanted heavier elements. And so those things I was like, I want to write properly. Like even this season, episode 7, I would say, is probably one of my personal favorite written episodes that I've written because there's not much room for. That was the most like Aaron Sorkin episode ever. Aaron Sorkin is a guy, as a screenwriter, that's like when actors work on a script, he's like, follow the script only. Don't go offset. I want you word for word for the script. That was the script where the first time I was like working with professional actors. Like there's only 4 actors in that episode. It's a bottle episode. It takes place in a cottage.
Oh, nice.
And so it's like me, the girl I'm dating, and her parents. The whole episode is 4 people. And the whole episode is like basically only 3 scenes. It's like the intro scene in the cottage, and then it's a dinner scene, and then it's a final scene.
And that cottage is beautiful. I seen it on the
CF.
I seen it on the CF, y'all. I'm sorry.
So when there's like professional actors, I'm not going to be like, hey, improv.
Go
off. No, so I already knew that from the jump when I was writing the script. I'm like, this script has to be so clean and polished and like just has to, this is this type of script. And then when you work on like other episodes, I'm like, yo, let people like when Babu came on set, when like Arsh is in the first episode. If you guys know what Arsh is, like just random comedy people or even myself, improv. You know, like just do as much as you can. So then you like start to, after first season, I was like, oh, this. When it's drama, like let's keep it like this. Let's keep like what's going on in the script. Let's keep that straight. And then
the lighter moments.
Even for 7, I was about to cast somebody that was probably going to do it very improv-y and very funny. And I was like, I decided not to because of how important the script was and what was being said in the script and the back and forth and dialogue and how important those like conversations were. That I was like, I don't think this can work in improv. So I like pulled the plug on. I was like, yo, I can't have this person be in this role. I have to maybe another time for something else. So, but I learned that from first season. I was like, I went through that. I'm like, what is good for writing? What is good for improv? You learn that a little bit more. So I think I learned that a little bit more this season. I think even next season, I've just like learned so much. And I learned how to like, the leadership, the people managing, I think was the biggest thing. It was like, especially when you're done the first season, everybody loves the show. When they come back in the second season, everybody wants to joke. There's so much passion in the show, and everybody wants to bring their best foot forward. And like 80 to 90% of the time, it's a great thing. Sometimes people butt heads. Sometimes it's like visions go against other visions, and you have to be there to like help mediate. Chill. Like this is the vision. You gotta redirect. And it's like nobody has any ill intentions. Everyone's just so passionate. And sometimes when you're in a high pressure, limited time, limited budget, like just go environment, like sometimes like even the best of us can fold under that pressure or like crack momentarily. We'll have like down moments. So I think dealing with that, because this season was so ambitious, I had to deal with a lot of like people's emotions becoming so passionate that they might have bet heads or things like that. Like things might have gone astray, and I had to step in and be like a dad. It's like, yo, these are all your kids, and you have to step in and be like, yo,
hey,
let me listen to you. Okay, this is okay, cool. I heard you guys both out. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing.
What it is.
This is what it is, and so that's not easy because you know
you don't want to be that guy.
So you learn. I learned more about myself this season. I learned more about like confrontation this season and how to deal with confrontation and things like that. That I think I necessarily wasn't always in my wheelhouse, or like, because when you work on YouTube, you work with your crew. Now you're working with like people with so many different personalities, so many different people. So you have to like backgrounds and experiences and perspectives. You have to be open to perspectives. You're like, just because that isn't my perspective doesn't mean it's not true.
Right,
so like deciding like, okay, which perspective is like true to what the vision of the show is, how much of it is like, oh, I don't know if this is like, this might not be my perspective, but this is a truthful perspective. So I have to grant it some space in the show as well. You know, specifically when it comes to writers or anybody creative involved in the show. So that's always a struggle. You're like, okay, how much of this am I going to be like, this is going to be me? How much of this do I have to be open to like other perspectives and other views?
Yeah. I want to ask you a question. I know we're running long, but there was a part in your trailer where we're just talking to our friend, and he was just like, yeah, I seen a trailer. I was really excited, but I was watching with my dad, and when he seen the kissing scene, his dad got up and said, whoa. Yeah. Oh. Really? So I know, and from like what you're telling us, like I know you were kind of like pushing it in certain areas and kind of like trying to
for sure
tell a story, right? Sure. How did the writers and, you know, was there any conflict in trying to tell that story and like, or any fears in like putting that out to say, okay, yeah, like we can display this, knowing that it gets that kind of like reaction from the older generation?
I think there's always that fear. Like you always have that fear is always going to be there, but that's like a fear that kind of pushes you forward. I think the core of like what you're trying to say, I'm like, I know I'm not saying anything that's negative or hurtful to anybody. And then once I studied a lot of my culture, once I studied a lot of my like own spirituality, my history of my people, and like, you know, you begin to like really see like, oh, a lot of the views that a lot of our people have aren't even truly a part of our culture. They were like, they came in because of like exterior forces, imperialization or colonization, like these viewpoints that came in that like kind of bastardized how like Indian people, if we're talking about sexuality, Indian people wrote the Kama Sutra. We were like very, I guess, there wasn't a shame when it came to like sexuality or love. Those types of things weren't looked at as a shameful act back in the day before like external forces came in and kind of like shifted that for us. Right. Like if you look at a country like Thailand, they're so open when it comes to like just love or sexuality or anything, like anything, because that was a country that wasn't colonized. India was colonized, you know. So I feel like a lot of our history, when I took a deep dive into it, I was like, oh, like I feel like so much of the true roots of our history have been lost and kind of like taken sideways. And so I wanted to kind of course correct that a little bit. I feel like there's so much. I'm like, two people are in love. How do you think we got here?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like, why is there? You gotta do a little bit. Why is that such a shameful thing? So I think it's So it's just kind of like erasing the stigma with that, and I definitely know I'm gonna get backlash. I already did kind of in the first season. Like my ass was out in the first episode.
First 20 seconds.
We did the whole nudes thing. I think I was more nervous in the first season because I was like, oh, I'm fully naked. Like I didn't know what they were gonna use. Like when I shot it, I was wearing a sock. You know, like my the cock sock. That's all I was wearing. Really? And again in this season, I did the same thing, but it was different. So I was like, I think having put out the first season, going through, I randomly did, like, putting that first episode out, nudes, the fear of like my character, his nudes leaking, then like the community be like, this is wrong, this is writing that, making it, putting it out there, getting people to watch it, I like felt like I lived that. And then I let go of that fear.
Let it go,
So that was like, oh, now I'm like in the second season. Now I'm like, you've never seen a guy with a turban, because I feel like anybody that wears like a quote unquote religious article of faith, it's like if they're wearing something too revealing, if they're like kissing or like there's some sort of sexuality involved, or if they're drinking or if they're this or whatever, there's a lot of stigma around that, because it's like, oh no, you have to be this. But the thing about Late Bloomers, like it's such an episode that explores like duality and like explores like just regular, we're just humans that just are learning as we go.
Just
one thing works for somebody else, something works for some people here, this works for you, this works for this person, this doesn't work for this person, this doesn't work for this person. So I think that's the story that I'm trying to tell, is like some things work for some people, some things don't work for other people. It's just like being cool and comfortable with that. And so we put that It's in the first episode. There's a lot of kissing,
Damn,
a lot of making out, a lot of sex.
Damn, twin.
I saw a guy in your story.
Not too much.
I saw a guy in your story praising you for keeping the pug. Is it the pug?
The podcast. Yeah. Shouts to Only Rants. Bro, that guy's funny.
Was that like an intentional choice?
100%. Whatever he said in that video is
true.
True. I was like, yo, he got it. He nailed it.
Nice.
And I comment, I'm like, yo, you totally got it. Because he left a comment on my video.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, the comfort level's gotta be earned, bro.
Yeah.
When you're the new Smash, you gotta,
Dude,
you still wear the podcast. Yeah, you
got it. I say this though, when I the night I watched the trailer,
Yeah.
and I was texting you, what I got from it, and like I'm not gonna understand the full background of it, but I'm understand like kissing anything like that, like that's already sensitive areas
for sure.
I saw it in a way where it's almost like history was kind of repeating itself, where it's like you were already that son. And you're telling your dad and you're telling your mom, I'm not going to school, I'm not doing this, I'm doing YouTube. You're like, what the fuck is YouTube? You're like, just chill, whatever. You fought that battle. Yeah. So now it's not that crazy for me to see you do this on a bigger level where it's just like you're doing it to now, you know what I mean? Where it's like we're talking to our friend and then his dad is running away, but his dad likes the show. So he's going to come back and watch it. And you're going to now change certain mindsets. You
just push the boundary,
You're just pushing the boundaries like he did when you joined YouTube, just on a bigger scale. So, when I seen it, I wasn't really shocked, but I knew it would obviously have, like, you know, it would start some conversations. But I think it's beautiful, like, how you know, life imitates art and, you know what I mean, it's going to continue to do that.
I think this, in a way, like Late Bloomer, or even what you guys are doing, whatever we do, is like we sometimes write our worst fears into the things we're making, and then we just put it out there, and then we just are like, all right. I remember last year the premiere when we were my parents were at the premiere. I didn't tell them about the show. They didn't know much about what was going on. They came to. I told Chas specifically, like, yo, bring him on set on the nice days, like the roca scene and things like that. I'm like, not when we're like fighting, none of that. And so when they watched the first episode, like the nude scene, obviously, I walked out of the theater because I was like, I can't be in the theater with my parents watching. I was so nervous. I was so and it's literally not even for anybody else, but it's your parents. Like those are the people I'm the most nervous and sick because I'm like,
so you showed your ass to all these people.
At a certain point, those are the people you start parenting. I'm like, I'm parenting my parents now. And so I remember, like, after the premiere, I was so nervous. I went up to my parents and I was like, my mom was like, it's okay. I cleaned your butt your whole life. It's okay, whatever, man. My mom literally was like, times are changing. It's fine. Like, this is all good. It was funny. I loved it. She's like, give me a thumbs up.
That's beautiful.
And I was like, whoa, like huge weight lifted off my shoulder. I was like, yeah, my dad was still a little bit like, I don't know, it's funny, but then you go to the Gurdwara in the next scene, and I don't know, man. My dad's a little bit more nervous. He's like, I don't know, man. Yo, the Gurdwara committee might say something. I don't. But it's okay. I think it's okay. He's still a little bit nervous, but my mom is way more open. My dad is getting there. You know, he became young again. He's 23 again, so he's still. He's like, I'm like, yo, you're younger. You're like my younger brother now when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like, I have to like teach you. Like
this.
So yeah, that was definitely a thing I was nervous about. But then even this premiere, I'm like, oh man, my parents are gonna watch me like just making out with a girl.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it's interesting that you do this because you're obviously scared and worried about their
I'm
approval.
Terrified.
But then you make it, you wrote it, you directed it.
You put on blinders. You put on blinders and you just do it. And then my thing is like, yo, I know I like it. I know what I'm saying is not anything wrong. And I know what I'm saying is like something that I truly believe in, and it's something that I think has like plagued our community and our culture, like all the shame around certain things. I'm like, I want to alleviate. I want to be like the force that like helps alleviate a lot of that. So in some way, it's very uncomfortable. You're gonna hit with so much backlash. But I think like even being on YouTube, like I used to get hit with backlash. Even like the later days of my YouTube, I was getting hit with so much backlash. That's when Twitter started changing up. Everything was getting weird, and so you just go through that. You get used to it, and so then you just. Of course you're terrified. Of course you're scared, but you just do it because you're like, I don't think what I'm doing. In the heart of my heart, I'm like, I don't think this is anything what I'm doing is wrong. I'm telling a real, raw, true story, and I'm trying to like uplift and like talk about very taboo topics in a way that a lot of people relate to. Like even last season in episode 7, the fight scene with me and the dad, like that was another thing I was very nervous about. I'm like, how are people going to react to that? Are people going to be like, you're perpetuating a stereotype, you're doing this, you're showing our community in a bad light and this and that? And I'm like, I don't know. I just think we're showing a real side of our community. If you see something painful, it's like going to therapy. Like you got to go and you got to talk about real, raw, crazy shit to get over it. You have to get it out of your system.
Say that nasty shit.
So I think when people see that kind of stuff on screen and they just kind of like, they get it out of their system, like, oh, it's not just me, or it's not just this person going through it. It's a real thing. And then you're able to have these conversations. Like the biggest thing I loved about last season was people were like, I watched the last 2 episodes with my family, and that was a hard watch, and we had conversations about it after. Like conversations we never would have had if it wasn't for us seeing that. Because it's like they went through that, and then they saw it, and they're like, damn, now we got to like...
It puts it in perspective.
You're just like, yo, it's crazy. There. It's out in the open, and you have to... When things are out in the open, in your face, in front of the people that you have these like tensions and relationships with, you have to... It's like you're forcefully having to address it. You have to address it.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you see something almost like way too shocking, and they tell you like, I remember I seen something that I shouldn't have seen, and then they're telling me like, yo, if you need therapy, we'll link you with that. Like where it's like they're like, yo, you gotta talk about it. So totally. I mean, religions and certain cultures are so used to just fucking bottling shit up and saying, hey, you're good, you're good, you're good.
I'm trying to pop bottles, man.
Pop champagne, shot
champagne.
Man. Wow, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, man, get it out there. I think that's like the big. I think that's what you guys are doing with, bro. To you guys, man. To office movers.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Man, when I came to the premiere, I think the thing I was most impressed by, aside from the writing, aside from how it looked, I love when people that come from comedic backgrounds can act. And I'm not just like, not comedy. But I remember I told you, I was like, man.
That shit. You told me through a fence.
I was like, bro. That scene when you get back into your room and you settle in.
Oh, real
before the wall break, like I'm like, yo, this just sitting with you in that motion. I was like, man, I felt that. That was so real. And then later half of the season, we see you go through the shit that you went through. Oh man, that's the thing I was the most excited about. I was like, that's so good, because it's like, like comedy. We've been doing comedy. We know what the pacing of a joke is and the rhythm and the punchline. We know all that stuff is, but like. Even just seeing you guys like just do dramatic moments, like man, in the premiere seeing that, and then watching the whole show seeing that, I was like, damn, man.
Damn, man.
It's good. Yeah. That's when the heart of a show comes out, and there's like, yo, it's not just funny. It's like there's some heart. Connection. There's a story being told. There's a connection. I can see. I've never moved to office. I've never done none of that shit. But when I see you guys going through, when I see the characters going through, I'm like, oh man, I get it. Like the struggles, the dilemmas, and things like that. I'm like,
I hate to do that, man. Damn.
You feel it, even if you've never experienced it. If you bring truth and honesty and rawness to it, even if it's the most random thing, you feel it. That's the thing. It's like people don't know what it's like growing up in a sick community. People don't know what it's like growing up, moving boxes and having a Jamaican dad that's like telling you to do this and that, and like you're trying to run this bit, like all the stuff that you don't know, but if you feel the realness to it, you feel it. Like
exactly. That's what I felt when I watched your show. I'm like, I never got this experience before. At this level of at this depth.
Totally.
Where you feel like you understand to a certain degree. And like living through it is a totally different thing, but like to be able to watch it on screen and have it translate.
And to see the similarities of culture.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think everything is universal. Like all of our struggles are universal.
That's the YouTube again, because like how many videos have you done and sketches and parodies where everyone's like, oh my god, I was thinking the same thing. Oh my god, that was so funny, because it's just all relatable, and it made you feel so connected to like a YouTuber back in the day. So like now when they're watching this, they're like, okay, all right, I know who you are because you know who I am, so it's like, it's again, bro, life's always gonna imitate art. So real recognize real, man. That's it.
Real talk, man. Shit. Season 2, man. Nominated for CSAs.
CSAs.
Tight shit.
Damn, what are you wearing there?
I don't know.
I'm just go turtleneck.
Turtleneck. Nah,
Yeah.
I like to suit up at these.
I'm gonna wear a suit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
you
wearing
gonna throw a
penguin
suit on.
tux.
Penguin toes, 2
Penguin
feet.
tux.
Yeah.
3 feet alligator tail.
I went to what did I wear last year? No, it wasn't the CSAs. It was up front. I just wore like big flare ass pants and just like an oversized blazer.
At the upfront, so yeah, we didn't make it.
I'm becoming more experimental. So
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, let's just have fun.
Yeah,
Damn,
that's where
man.
you do it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah,
How cool is it though, man, to be able to do TV and just have the blessing to be able to do it back to back,
Totally.
and like you could. Some people try their own show and then
Yeah.
it doesn't. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. You have to like wait a couple of years to like get the opportunity to do it again.
Yeah.
But to do it back to back alone is a crazy accomplishment.
I think that comes down to like the deep belief. Like when you're making season 1, you're already like, I know, like we're gonna get a season 2. Like even if you don't, but just having the belief. I believe season 3 hasn't been greenlit yet, but I'm like, I already know. I'm already writing. I already know what I want.
Got
to see.
ideas.
I remember.
If I already dreamed it, why wouldn't it come
true?
Is it gonna go to waste?
And
No,
all
man,
that,
it's gonna
bro.
happen.
I remember season 1. I'm walking around that bitch, and we're shooting whatever, and niggas are getting sad because it's getting to the end.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, we'll see you next year. We'll see you next year. But we'll say certain things like, yo, I'll tell props. I'm like, yo, keep that. We'll use that next year.
I gave them turbans. Wow. I gave Zen it to I'm like, yo, keep this turban.
Yeah.
He's like, are you sure? This is yours. I'm like,
next year.
put it in a storage. It'll
Yeah.
come back.
I'll go
Don't
back
worry.
next year.
She kept all of our Tycho shit. I'm like,
That's
yo,
what I'm
I'll see
saying.
you next year.
Yeah, I'm gonna see you next year.
And it's almost like a lot of them are like dropping their jaws like, what's happening? Like, why is this nigga? It's not even cocky. It's just a level of confidence.
It's a
you walk
knowingness.
in and like,
it's just like, yo, I believe in
back.
myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe in this project.
I might be at your garage asking to.
What else
take
are you
my
gonna
shit
do?
out.
Yeah,
let me get that back. We didn't get it. We didn't get it, bro. Like,
I think with people like, what else are we going to do? Like with other people that work on these projects, like they can work on other sets, they can do other stuff. It's like, no, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
like
If it doesn't happen, it's gonna happen. Like I wanted to make the show in 2018, 19. Didn't happen. I waited.
I'm here,
I'm
bro.
sad. I was in the chamber, bro. You know, I was in the hyperbolic chamber doing push-ups, man. Let's go.
But dog, it was a beautiful feeling to come back and see people's faces light up and then hug you with that same embracement of like, I'm ready, like let's go. Because it's also like
Totally.
you told me last year we'll be back, and here we are. You know what I mean? So it's
Also,
like,
I think shout outs to people that are like patient with me. I think I recognize in season 1, like I know that there's stuff that I was still learning to make the show. Like there's things that didn't fully translate over because I was still learning.
Yeah.
I know that. I recognize that. I've read the Reddit threads and the posts. Like I get it. I know exactly what you guys are talking about. But I think people need to understand that the machine is so big. You have to learn. Like you got to learn this. You have to have a little bit of patience with like learning, and I agree. Like you have to have a little bit of patience about learning with the process, because like we never went to school with this shit. We don't know how this industry works. So there's gonna be growing pains. There's gonna be like things that we just have to learn, and things aren't always gonna translate on screen, and some things will, some things won't. And I had to give myself that grace because I was hard on myself. You're hard on yourself all the time.
Yeah, trust me, bro.
You compare yourself to everybody, man. I'm comparing myself to The Sopranos, man.
I like it.
Like,
I'm a fan of it.
that show's the greatest show of all time. Why am I being like, it has to be Sopranos? If I've never made
40 times your budget.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I'm comparing myself. Who's like equivalent is like Donald Glover. He started on YouTube. He did his trajectory is so much. And then when he made Atlanta, I'm like, man, Atlanta's like every episode of Atlanta, I'm like, man, that's a good ass show. Like
you just know it's possible when you see something in your head saying like, I know I can make it, but like it's.
But you gotta give yourself grace because this is our first time doing like those people. The creators and writers of Sopranos wrote on so many other shows before that.
Okay, true.
Like guys like Donald Glover, they did 30 Rock, they did Community, they like learned how this industry works before they did that. That's how they make this great show. It's like we didn't. We went from YouTube straight into TV. We were never in a writer's room. We never worked a PA on set.
Whole time, what's this? What's that? What's that?
Exactly.
Still, I'm like, yo, what does that stand for?
Yeah, what does it stand for?
We gotta do the PCP with CTV.
Yeah. I'm like, huh? What?
When?
Nothing. We don't know anything.
But it's like, again, and it's also us taking in that this is new to them on their side, because like for the first time, like when someone creates a show, sometimes they just create a show and dish it off, and now it's like you go find writers, you go complete the show,
and they follow the process,
and they follow that. Where it's like us, it's like we're saying, okay, yeah, we created a show, but also like, yeah, we are writers and we can direct, we can do this, we can do that. So what do you want us to do? But it's like the team working with us, and it's like it was such a story of fucking Jungle Book of like, I'm lost in the forest. You guys do TV, we do YouTube.
Yeah.
Shake my hand, I'll teach you, you teach me. And it was like, that's why I felt like Office Movers season 1 was so beautiful, because it was a lot of like, okay, you guys are learning, we're learning, and understanding that moment. But as long as you understand that and you have patience, just not even in life, you gotta have patience, bro. Like, man. It is so fucking big. It is so like, if I have it, you have to have it. And if you don't have it, you can't be here.
There's 1,000 pounds of pressure on your shoulder every day. You cannot fold because everybody's looking to you. Everybody's looking to you. You cannot fold. And like, you can fold to the people closest to you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chaps once again. You know what I mean? Like, you can like a baby. You know how many therapy sessions I've had with Chaps, I've had with Harmon. Like, I'm just like, bro, I just unleash on them. And they're like, yo, they take it. They're like,
yo, let's go.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, just go. So it's like, you got to have the people close to you. My mom, my brother, you know, like, there's people in the close in my life that I can, like, my therapist, I can tell. But then when you show up on set, you got to be on your A game.
Yeah.
People are looking. Everybody's watching you. Everybody needs your leadership. Everybody needs to be like, yo, what do you have planned? We need to know what to do.
Yeah.
The second I didn't, if I step back even for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour,
cooked.
You can't, because like people just need to know like how to proceed. Like,
bro, let your phone sit for 30 minutes.
Ooh.
How many emails?
100 texts, 2,000 emails.
I know.
Is this good? Is this good? Is this good? Yo. And then that's when it gets to that level of just like, I don't know. I'm a very calm person. I'm a very chill person. So when I see other niggas relax, like, bro, I literally had to. We're on Zoom. And we're talking about this, like we're talking about locations, and certain things aren't working now because certain things are set up in a certain way, where certain things have to be set up in a certain way. Yeah. I remember niggas were panicking. I said, all right, let's not panic. Let's just chill, because, like, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Niggas start laughing. Like, it's just certain things like that. What are we doing? Like, we're not going to get anywhere panicking and trying to figure it out. Let's drop the attitude. Let's drop everything.
Totally.
Because we got to figure this out still.
For sure.
But it's just, like, setting that, like, you see how easy it can slip away. Like, even on set when we're, like, running out of time, and it's like, now niggas are starting to worry. It's like, guys,
don't worry.
What LeBron do when it's time to...
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
What Curry do in the Olympics? He made that first shot. He said, chill the fuck out.
Yeah, man.
If we're too worried, we're not playing our game. Let's play our game.
You can't operate in that way.
Because you still have to do it, so you might as well calm down.
The pressure is fine, but the worrying is
great.
You might as well calm down.
Don't worry.
Might as well calm down.
Calm down. You know what's at stake. You know what's going on. We're going to pull it off. I remember even directing, like, there was, like, certain scenes I was like, yo, we're running out of time. It was like 20v1. Like 20 people being like, do not get the shot. We're out of time. We cannot do this. And I just knew, I'm like, this shot is integral to the story. I have to get it.
Need the shot.
And like, you'll have voices being like, no. But I'm like, it's okay. We're going to pull it off. We're going to do it. A year from now, you're not going to even remember this like conflict.
Or next week.
Next week, bro. Next week, you're not here. Tomorrow.
Tonight.
No.
What happened? I was straight. Sometimes I be tripping on some shit that happened.
But I think that's how we worked on YouTube. It was like, okay, here's a problem. We didn't like stress over it. We're like, this is the problem. What do we do to solve this? Let's figure it out.
That's it.
There's no like, we can't do this because this is, and so it's like you have to teach people in this industry because the baseline thing is like worrying and stressing and like, well, we can't do it because it hasn't been done before. That's the thing. And so like,
we can
literally us making the show, we're changing the industry because they're like, wait, you can do that.
Yeah, and that voice too. Wait, hold on. Wait, bro. It's so crazy too because it's just like, I remember certain days we'll come to work and it'll just be like, guys, we gotta do this and we gotta do that, whatever. We can't do it. And I'll just be like,
why?
Tell me that, like, because we can.
Yeah. No, but why? You just like, why? Why can't you? What's the reason?
Little.
Because A, B, and C reason. Okay, so then why don't we do X, Y, Z?
E B C D E F G. Dog.
Yeah, man. Like, let's do EFG then.
It may not make sense there, but it makes sense here because it's like, it's just, it's certain things, but it's asking that question, why, and always going deeper. Same thing with a fucking relationship, trying to talk to a kid. What's going on at school? I don't like school. Why? I don't want to talk. Why? I don't want to talk. Why? This guy keeps bullying me at school. That's why you don't like school. School is fun. You know what I mean? Like, why? What? Why do you want to do this?
Why? What's the reason? All right, let's figure.
Is that the real? And you gotta vet if that's the real reason, and then go on. Because when they try to say some next shit, and then I find out it's about some next shit, that wasn't about what you just told me. Why waste my time? Why not just tell me straight? Where it's just like, if this is a budget reason, let's figure that out now. If this is yo, I don't know how we can actually do that. Okay, cool. Everyone chill. We're not scared. This is how we do that.
You ever heard Why by Jadakiss?
Yeah. Wow.
Damn, dog.
I'm excited, bro. I'm really,
different beast,
really
man.
excited.
You guys are in it now too. Shit, man.
Yeah. It feels good, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's definitely. You have more confidence going in the second season.
Yeah, because you know what's around. Like you've lived what's around the corner. Like you know what's next. We had the huge advantage of you being in front of us to be like, yo, make sure you ask for this and this. Yo, make sure you get this. Yo, do this.
Honestly, we have an advantage being on YouTube.
Absolutely.
As crazy as it was back then, we were just like, yo, we want to get on TV, we want to get in the spaces, but we had no doors in, so we just did our own thing. That in itself was a blessing because we learned how to do things. The crazy limited budget, no budgets,
our budgets,
shit budgets, our budgets.
Every time we got to a point where like it's too expensive, I'm like, yo, there's a way to
do it.
There's
always a way to do it. So it's like,
and that's the best. Sorry, that is the best fucking part when niggas say we don't have the budget for that. I said, yo, guys, we did it for free. So what are we talking about?
Exactly,
and it goes both ways too.
Exactly.
Like, there's one way where it's like, okay, I understand. Like, okay, you're saying we can't do that because it's too expensive. We did it for free, but then on the other end, it's like, if we really can only afford a room, I could write something funny enough to fill this room.
Totally. It challenges you too.
Yeah, exactly. It challenges you, and it helps you. It helps all these questions help you condense your skit or your script. So it's like this just makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like even now when we're writing the script, it's like I'll say to someone, oh yeah, the script's done. They're like, oh congrats, you can chill now. I'm like, no, like. Now it's like rounds and rounds of like, okay, how do we make this script work? Okay, we gotta change that. Okay, now this has changed. Now there's new characters in it, and they're like, our cast is fucking over. We're over the limit. They're like, guys,
you gotta cut back like.
Yeah,
75%.
Yeah,
gotta go.
How about one guy in the scene?
I said, literally, when have you ever seen a world with one person in there? So we're not doing it. And it's
one
straight
guy in
like
the background.
that. I'll tell you when there's one nigga.
We need seven. We need 7 people there.
Yeah.
But you gotta fight those battles and do it and find a way to like, do it.
Some stuff challenges your creativity, and you're like,
for sure.
Other stuff, it's like.
And that's where you work, and that's where it's collaborative. It's like, okay, I hear you.
That's the puzzle.
Like,
that's like, where do I compromise? Where is like, no, I have to be firm. It's like every day there's like 500 decisions on that. Where do I compromise? Where is it's like, I'm putting my foot down.
Yeah, just the other day we heard our line producer say, okay, this is my line. Hassan is not driving a forklift. I said, fine. You're right. Fine. She said, sorry. No.
It's all right with me. You gotta push it, bro. You gotta push it, bro.
You gotta push it. The forklift is like a 15-hour license.
Yeah.
Tell them quick.
No, we're not doing that.
That's my line. We said, all right. All right.
Yeah. No, fine. That's it. It's all of it is in the work.
Yeah, exactly.
When the product is done, that's it's like there's this narrative I feel like coming out about people being like, oh, you guys are content creators, you guys are getting these shows because you guys are content creators, because your audiences, you're bringing that.
Yeah.
But it's like people don't see. It's like,
yeah.
No,
bruh,
man. Do you know why we got those audiences?
That's shit. You don't even know what I want to say about that shit.
That's a whole other podcast. That's a whole other podcast.
It's not because of the fan base. It's the skill set that you pick up doing the shit for 10 years.
It's like, you could have just been vlogging and been like, we're going to do this challenge and be hot.
Niggas wanted
just dumb.
Hot and dumb is the topic.
Hot and dumb and then be viral. Or you do what we did, which is make productions.
Niggas
everything we did was a production.
A tiny production.
Niggas wanted that. That was it. At the end of the day, when everyone's on YouTube and I'm looking around the rooms of like everyone that was on YouTube doing sketch comedy, I'm looking around at the niggas that wanted to do things, and I'm seeing what's. And we back. We're only here because we wanted to be here.
Yeah.
Everyone, the same break that I'm talking about when COVID hit, if I generally decided in my room that day in the darkness, I don't want to write, I don't want to learn how to write, I could have sat there and said, this is my limit, Jermaine, you have to write, I don't want to learn how to write, whatever it is. People on YouTube made their decisions on what they want to do, and they went off and did it. Yeah. Some totally jumped off YouTube and went and built businesses and said, I know how to like run this business, this is what I'm doing. So it's like, those are saying like that type of shit. It's so easy to block out because it's just like, you don't really know, man. Like even when we met the first department season 1, I was telling them like, I was your department. I was hunting like clothing down. I was hunting locations down. So I'm able to talk locations and say, dog, tell that nigga we'll get $5, dog. I ain't paying nothing else. Like, you know what I mean? Because you know what props is, you know what directing is, you know what, you know what I mean? All these fields are because you just had genuine interest to like do it, you know? So it's like, all that other nonsense is just, it's so easy to block out because it's like, bro, if you wanted to do it, you could have done it because everything's possible. And if you don't believe it's possible, that's your world, that's your bar you set, and that's totally fine. That's not the rules I live by. That's it. So all that other shit, man. All that
that's
other
from
bullshit.
being on YouTube.
Yeah, real talk.
That's literally being on YouTube and having nothing, no resources, and like getting creative.
You're shooting in places you're not allowed to shoot. Like, yo, we might have to leave in 1 second.
Oh, remember when we did the Olympics, the dating Olympics at the mall?
Wait, what?
Remember that video? Yeah, I don't know. I got taken down because it was covered. Yeah, it was him. It was you and remember? And the security company like, you guys got to leave. Yeah, it was him. Him and Jessica.
No, wrong nigga, man.
No, bro, it was you, man. Mahan was there too, but it was. Remember the one segment that we had with Trey and Jessica? Right. He was in the video.
Yeah, it wasn't me, bro.
Yeah, it was you,
no,
man.
dog.
Man, shut up. I'll put it up.
No,
The dating Olympics. Remember dating Olympics?
At a mall?
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, then it was like, oh, this Punjabi girl's dating a black guy. Like we have to be like secret. And the auntie came. You guys had to separate. Remember, you were in a Sears. How do you forget this?
Wait, what mall is this? Bramley?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
We were in Bramley again.
City Center.
Was it him?
Huh? Yeah, it was you.
That reminds me now because it was the.
Mahan was the main guy, but then we did one segment.
I have a doppelganger, dog. It wasn't me. You didn't call me that day.
Huh? He got copyright.
You gotta find it.
I'll find it. It was you.
You gotta find it.
It's on private. It's on private.
Yeah,
in 2016?
15? 14? 15?
No.
Yeah.
But that was
remember, it was a
talk,
TSN
bro.
video. I did a TSN newscast.
Okay, that's ringing more. That's ringing a bell. That's ringing a bell. That's ringing a bell.
Yeah, and then we do like how quickly you can separate from a couple when the auntie comes by a corner.
That's ringing a bell.
It is ringing a bell. Because did we go into Target after?
Yes, we were in like a Sears or a Target or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you hid in like a clothes rack or something. Anyways, I don't even know what the point of the story was.
No, because
you had to run and gun.
Bro, sometimes
run and gun, exactly. That's what it was. Remember
out.
security came and kicked us, me and Mahan were like, yo.
Like, all right, what's our pivot? What do we do? Like, you still need a video.
We still got to shoot it.
Yeah. No, we almost got shot.
Yeah.
And then the next day, we're like, all right. And then he's not here no more. Bro, we literally had
quick
SWAT with guns pointed at us and like, you can't do it. You can't be doing out here with a gun, whatever. All right, bet. Come back tomorrow. Yeah. And then we get the shot. The last two.
Wow.
You just learn to find a way how to do it, especially when we're on a schedule. Like, every Wednesday we got a video.
Yeah.
And just every so often, it was just that challenge. It was like crazy. It's like production boot camp.
Yeah.
It is production boot camp for sure.
Also, at this point in my career, I was about to say, what the fuck? At this point in my career, it's like, if I came this far, I don't want to hear you don't want to do something because out of fear. Like, let it be logic for me to say, that makes sense. We'll blow this bitch up. That would catch fire. Yeah, I didn't think of that. But don't do it off of, like, I'm afraid to try this or I'm afraid to accomplish it because, like, again, like, we really almost got shot. SWAT guy cocked his gun back, caught the bullet in the air. So, you fucking see this?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yo, they thought they had action, bro. They were ready,
Yeah, they thought they
fucking
had some
SEAL
motion.
team, bro. But it's like, not to say like, obviously we were younger in those days, but it's like everything was so run and gun about it. Everything was so guerrilla style marketing. Everything was so like raw and authentic to like, this is what we're doing, like.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Even down to the fucking podcast, we were in your office setting up like no green screen and just like, yo, we just got to get this going to see what it is. And then it's like you know what I mean, like the steps to it. But it's just believing in something before it everyone else catches on to like what it is, or just wanting to make something. So nah, man, that's beautiful. I'm very excited for season 2.
Season 2, 2 twos, man.
2 22s. Sitting on 22s.
Yeah.
Straight.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see you guys, man. I see you guys are building sets. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you guys didn't build that many sets last time.
We didn't at all.
We didn't build any.
Which is why I was like,
space.
which is why I was so crazy shocked when I was walking through your house. You left. I think I was with Chaps more after.
Yeah.
No, he left too. That's why I see. I think I was walking with you when I was going through the house and the basement, and I don't want to give away all the sets. So it was just like, it was crazy to see. I'm in a studio, but I'm in a house.
I remember I just did a walkthrough of the set of the house, and my DMs like blew up. I was like, that was a set? That wasn't a house? I'm like, damn,
yeah. It's
Shout
crazy,
out to art department.
Shout out to Kiera, bro. Kiera, Tremaine, man, Kiki, the whole art department.
You know Kiki?
You Kiki works on your show?
No, I thought you were talking about
Kiki. No, different Kiki.
It's beautiful, man, to see, and that's the next thing, man. Sorry, it's just you have a vision in your head, and then to see them build it, like they're already building our warehouse now. Shout out to Jeff, bro. What the hell?
I forgot.
But it's crazy to see your ideas just like in front of you, and that's the most motivational motion you're gonna get, to see it and say, okay, wow, so it's just possible to build.
I would forget. It would take like other people outside. Like my brother would come to and be like, "Yo, this is crazy." I'm like, "Yeah,
it's crazy.
This is crazy."
Yeah,
like you forget because you're so in it. You forget how you're like, "Yo, this is like." I have a warehouse full of sets of things,
bro.
Just because one day I was like, I'm gonna go to a coffee shop and write.
Right.
It's like insane. Now like 200 people are working and they're building sets. You're in a hangar.
That's
like,
with
families,
literally,
bro. That's crazy.
When I see 40 laptops on the table, I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah,
Yo, right there.
Niggas are talking about like
crazy.
Niggas are talking about, yo, I'm getting married, and like, yo, thank you for this. Like, this is gonna be like, this is my lock-in moment, and then I'm gonna get married after this, and oh yeah, my son is doing this, and my son graduated. I'm looking, I'm like, yo, this is families like we're taking care of, and it's like they're taking care of us, but it's like it's so crazy to see that something can come to this level, and you can be so deep in it. Even down to, I was asking someone, I'm like, yo, our PA asked us like, what type of snacks do you guys want? Like, what keeps you going? So I'm thinking like, we gotta be healthy. I just want like almonds and shit. So I'm like, yo, what is some shit I can like ask for? I don't know what to ask for. Still very new to me. What do I ask for? And just like, wait, they'll just get you anything you want?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm like, well, fuck yeah. What should I ask for?
Yeah.
And then I ask, and then like in an hour, it's in my room, and I'm just like, yo, this is fucking crazy. And then they're asking to get more. I'm like, yo, this is fine. Like, please, like, I literally stole all this from upstairs. I'm like, yo, let's just go upstairs. But it's like, it's crazy just to see such an operation running, and you're like, okay, this all started from a dream, which is why it's like, don't be over here talking we can't do it, because fuck that, we're doing it. Like,
dream the craziest stuff.
I want to hear it, bro.
Yeah. If it's crazy and you think it's too crazy, but you want to do it,
do it,
man. Do it. Try it.
That's a beautiful way. Yeah,
it's surreal.
Yeah, dog.
Surreal, man. You look around.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy
Good times, dog.
For sure.
Hell yeah.
And I still feel like we're playing in the NCAAs now.
Yeah.
Oh, you bet.
Oh, yeah.
We're not even in the NBA yet.
I'm at this house league.
This is house league still, bro.
The little
YouTube was like, I don't know what the minor league. I don't know.
That's just your school, your high
This
school.
is your school, your high school.
Varsity.
Yeah, bro, this is not. I don't even know if this is NCAA, man. I don't know what this is.
No, bro, this is just scouts are looking at us saying, "Yo, that boy hooping, man."
It's a prospect.
So it's nice, man. I'm
yeah,
excited.
our shows aren't even international yet. That's the crazy thing. I get so many DMs from people being like, How do I watch the show? How do I know.
Yeah. Well,
Doesn't it feel good to
it.
have something on Canada's side where it's like you feel like our whole lives we wanted to know what the States is on, and for once we have something.
We
here
grew
in
up
Canada
watching state TV from the United States, but like we just didn't relate to anything that was playing in Canada. So it's like but now it's like okay, we're making it cool. Because we want to tell stories that like actually matter to us, and we like derived influence from the internet or from like things that we had access to. So it's like now we're like, I want Canada to be like a cool place, man. I'm like, why not just US? Why not UK? UK's got a lot of great shows.
We got
New Zealand, Australia has a lot of funny shows. I'm like, why can't Canada, man?
Trust me, bro. So I'm almost like, I'm telling you, I was telling everyone like on a team the same thing. I'm like, yo, I'm fine with Canada having something, and them not having it right now.
But we working on it.
We're working on it.
It's coming.
Yeah, man.
We are getting a lot of IPTV messages like, yo, I fuck with
IPTV.
Dallas, Texas. Yo, fuck with the show.
I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad, man. If you can't watch it,
you go out.
You're outside of Canada. You can't watch it. I guess
You can't stop it, bro.
And that's just I love it, and that's you gotta understand. That's our YouTube background. How are we gonna tell internet people not to watch? Shit, how they
I'm not gonna explicitly tell
it.
anybody outside of Canada don't watch the show.
Do not go on.
Look, I'm not gonna say it. There may or may not be ways, and I'm not endorsing it at all.
Yeah, you might get arrested.
But there may or may not be ways
Chaps
to watch Late Bloomer outside of Canada. So I've heard. People have told me I'm not endorsing it at all, but there are ways to watch Late Bloomer.
Your manager's doing this.
Yeah. Got it.
I wish you could just upload it to YouTube.
They may take it down. I don't. Not that.
All right.
Because it's a different. As soon as
I know
you
what
do
you
that,
mean, but I mean the accessibility factor of it.
No, real talk.
No. Just there's ways to see it because it changes.
There's
Ways to see it, and it's not on YouTube because we're not there no more. We hear this is what YouTube is right here. That raw. That
you guys are doing anything on their main channel still or no? I haven't been.
We're slowly trying to come back with that.
Yeah,
we had some like food ideas that we're running with Humans in Random Places. So, but as soon as we get in this, it's like
podcast.
We're kind of or not. As soon as we get in office, we're sorry.
Yeah. It's
we're
all
like
that.
tied up. So it's like we're happy we can do this.
You got to
like,
give full attention to that always.
Yeah. Half because we're able to set up this podcast situation here, which is nice because even last year when we were doing it, it was so nice to like just leave office moves for a while and just talk shit on the couch and like. Half the episodes I'm fucking laying back by the fireplace sweating, but it felt good to just, it was my venting space as well of just like talking shit of other jokes and trying other jokes and like I'm writing jokes all day, so it's like let me try this, let me shoot this off, or this story happened today, so it's nice to have that balance. But I want to pump the main channel some more, and we got some plans this year, so hopefully we can get to that.
Sick, hell yeah.
But yeah, bro, I'm about to go eat a burger, dog.
Let's go.
Yeah, man, my back is sweaty.
Yeah,
I'm out of here, man.
Yeah.
2 wholesome episodes in
2,
one, man.
Yeah, it's a 2 for this season of the 2. You might as well.
Little 2-piece.
No.
Little 2-piece, man.
Yeah.
Listen, man, what a wholesome episode.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know what we need, man. Get active in the yo. Let them know what we need, man. All the YouTube stuff. You
let them know, man. Go ahead.
Smash the comments. What am I even on anymore,
Smash that bell.
Yeah. I'm only on Instagram. I feel like these days. Instagram.com.
You're not doing this.
Instagram.com.
Cut it, bro. It's okay, bro.
Backslash Just Rain. Late Bloomer series.
Yeah.
Just Rain.
Seas 2.
Seas.
I'm not. I'm YouTube.com/Just Rain. I'm not on there. What am I even on anymore? Nothing. I'm literally only on Instagram.
That's beautiful. You're on Crave TV, brother.
Crave,
yeah. That's it.